Okay, so Keith is having dinner with Sue's parents.
Correct, sir.
And this is episode 233 of the video game show. I'm Chad, and with me tonight is Ivan.
Hello.
Phil.
Greetings.
And someone in the background. Who's coughing?
That's probably Mary. Mary's coughing.
Okay, so what do you guys got for me? I'm still in Thailand. Can't do much.
Still?
Still in Thailand. We'll be here until the 9th, and then flying to Hong Kong, staying there a day, then flying to Vancouver, staying there a day, and then back to the States. So what are you guys doing?
Oh, boy. What have I done?
You went to Pittsburgh, right? That's where you were. We were at Pittsburgh?
I did go to Pittsburgh. Funny enough, we saw Fred there.
Wow, interesting.
We were just leaving the casino, and we're standing there in the lobby waiting for our car, and in walks Fred. So that was fun. I actually was super busy with work this past week, and I probably will be again this week. So yeah, I haven't done much of anything. iPad 2 comes out on Saturday, though.
Well, I was going to ask about that after I checked with Phil.
I did a couple things this week. I broke my bass drum pedal for my Rock Band drum kit. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, but it is, 3 years old now. So
Still playing Rock Band?
I had a hankering for playing this week, so I played twice, and on the second day that I played this week, I broke it. But I occasionally will break out the drum kit and play the drums to some Rock Band. I was looking at the Rock Band 3, the set list, and I wasn't too excited about it, so I think I'm just going to stick with Rock Band 2 for now, and maybe see if there's any new DLC that's interesting. But it's few and far between. And since Keith's been playing Blood Bowl, I tried to play a little bit today, and I was majorly disappointed because of the security software called SecuROM. I was trying to... Well, basically, I've got it installed on my XP partition, and I was trying to reinstall it to play it through my Vista partition, and it wouldn't let me. So I was checking through all their forums and whatnot, and they were saying that you have to do something called a license revoke.
Yeah.
So basically, you've got to do that and then try to request a new key to reinstall it and this and that. And it's just a real pain in the ass. And push come to shove, so I just had to reboot to XP and play it from XP, which I was pretty disappointed.
Okay, Ivan, what do you think about the iPad 2?
Well, fortunately, there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about because they didn't change a whole lot. They changed the guts and slightly the form factor.
And the camera.
Yeah, there's a camera now, although I can't ever see myself using it. I don't use the camera. I don't use the FaceTime camera on my phone. I don't know that I've ever used it. And I don't typically travel with my iPad, out and about, so I'm never going to be, using it for pictures.
Have they improved the display on those things to...
No, it's got the exact same display as the iPad.
So it's going to have the same issues it did when you're in bright light or sunlight or whatever?
Correct.
That's kind of disappointing.
The new one, everyone hoped it would be with the Retina support. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Is that really that much better on the iPhone 4?
No. Every once in a while, I'll check my phone. I'll get a email or something while I'm driving to work. And when I get out of the car and walk up to the building, I'll check it. And it's still... it's not impossible to see. It's not, unusable, but it's not great. The way I see it is I use the iPad mainly indoors anyway. I use it for reading and doing other kinds of stuff, and rarely am I ever outside with it, so it's not that big of a concern for me. But yeah, it's got the exact same resolution, and everything else about the screen is the same. Now they upgraded the video card a little bit, so the graphics will be better. But as far as the actual screen itself goes, it is identical to the original iPad.
So it sounds like you're not doing an upgrade to the next one, huh?
I may wind up getting it just because once I buy the first one, then I'm set. I paid for the first iPhone, and then all of my iPhones after that are essentially free because I sell them on eBay and wind up making enough to cover the cost of a new one. So I'm thinking about actually getting the iPad 2, because I know that I'll be able to get plenty for the iPad 1 that I have. So, if somebody said, hey, if you buy this iPad 2 for $500, in 2 weeks we'll send you $500 in cash. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that wouldn't take advantage of that.
Does Apple have any kind of buyback program like Best Buy's advertising now?
They did at one point for iPods or something, but it was nowhere near enough to cover the cost of a new one, It was like they gave you $75 or something like that. Yeah. Maybe not even that much.
Yeah, I think I saw one on one of the rumors, on one of the Mac News sites that said it was $100 if you had purchased within 2 weeks of the iPad 2 coming out. If you purchased an iPad 1 within 2 weeks of the iPad 2, there was some rebate, some money back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple websites out there. I'd have to look up their names. There's a couple websites that will actually give you a decent amount for used ones. But again, they're not going to give you top dollar, because why would they? They need to do whatever to them, and they're going to turn around and sell them. So, I mean, if they gave you $400 for one, and they plan on selling them for $400 or whatever, they're not going to make any money. So they're not going to give you as much as you could get if you sold it on your own. So, and to me, it's not that big of a hassle to put one item up on eBay. And then, to me, eBay is only a hassle when you're trying to sell a ton of stuff, like if you're trying to sell Magic cards or something, and you've got 3,000 of them, or video games, and you've got 25 video games you want to sell, then it becomes a big pain in the butt. But if you're selling one thing and aren't that concerned about the time or needing the money right away, then yeah, I don't mind doing that. But it also has they're putting a gyroscope in, so much like the iPad or the iPhone 4, it should be a little bit better for gaming, because it's got the motion sensors already, and it'll have the gyro now, which makes for better gaming.
Okay, I don't have an iPhone 4 yet. How much better is it improved?
It's pretty cool. As far as movement kind of goes, you can actually play games that don't require any kind of control scheme other than tilting the device, because it's got the accelerometer, so it knows when you're tilting it, left and right, back and forward, but the gyroscope, kind of tells the device which way it's being turned in 3 dimensions. So, I mean, you have to have a game or some such thing that takes advantage of that aspect, obviously. So it doesn't enhance regular games that much. But if a game is done properly and takes advantage of those things inside of the device, it's pretty cool.
If we don't have anything else, I think that's probably going to be it for this week, because I've been traveling back and forth between floating markets and Bangkok. So
yeah. And Keith said he's going to do his update, so you can append that to the end of the show or whatever. So
yeah. So if Keith is coming in with an update, I will put it on right now.
Greetings, Blood Bowl fans. This is Coach Oot here to give you an update on Week 2 of the Blood Bowl League. And the first game was between the Bellevue Dash Hounds versus the Minions of Oot. The game started with a high kick to the young upstart Beastman Muttley, with a cage quickly forming up around him and the Chaos Warriors clearing a path down the middle of the field. Beastman Frisnogor was given the honor to stand on the line with the Warriors of Chaos and didn't disappoint by taking out the Dwarven lineman Ulmi with a smashed hand, an injury which will be sure to see the stunty missing a week of play. The Dashhounds' misfortunes grew as an avid fan of Oot blinded Coach Frags-a-Lot by sending a bag of choking powder from the stands. The Dashhounds milled about and confused while their coach regained himself. Taking advantage of that confusion, the Minions of Oot smashed open a hole in the line of the Dashhounds, with Muttley and a small herd of blockers seizing the moment and rushing through to score. The Dashhounds, unable to catch the Beastman, took the time instead to lay a few well-placed shots on the Minions. The kickoff to the Dachshunds was received by runner Dower, and with a wall of dwarves began making his way down the field. The minions put up a solid line of defense as time ticked away on the clock. A few options remaining, Dower decided to break to the right and swing around the minions' flank with the company of 2 Slayers. Sadly, one of the Slayers, Uzki, whose beard and gut were legendary, but apparently his agility was not, ended up tripping over his own beard, leaving Dower exposed with only 1 Slayer as a guard. Seizing the moment, the Chaos Warrior known as the Skull Taker showed the crowd why he was named so. Grabbing Dower on either side of his helmet, the Skull Taker wrenched the dwarf's head from his body, killing him on the spot and adding another skull to the Shrine of the Gods of Chaos. Taking advantage of this bedlam, Beastman Winigor scooped up the ball, threw a long pass down the field to the jackal-faced Grotsnik the Blessed, who was sneaking up behind the dwarves, was able to then break away and bring the game to a 2-0 in favor of the minions of Oot. After a passionate speech and a few kegs of beer, the renewed Dachshunds took the field and the kickoff. Kadek, the dwarven runner, took the ball and, with a wall of beard and gut, began to march their way down the field. Whether fueled by Coach Fragzalot's speech or drunken rage, the dwarven lineman Ekor laid low the Chaos Warrior Stumpy Spine Twister, smashing his collarbone, seeing that he will miss more than a few weeks of play. To the roar of the crowd, a frenzy melee took place in the middle of the field with the minions and the Dachshunds going blow for blow. Trying to capitalize on the melee, Kadek swung around the right to sweep around the engaged minions. But Winigor was ready. Lowering his head, he rammed Kadar back into the Chaos Warrior Daemok the Unbreakable, who knocked down Kadek and scooped up the ball in the process. Hisley stalked the Slayer, then attacked Daemok in a frenzied assault, knocking him and the ball down as the ball scattered to the open field to be scooped up by Dwarf Blitzer Norton, who made a break for him by himself down the field. Norton was ambushed by a pair of beastmen who took him to the turf in a fury of blows. Frisnogor was able to pick up the ball, and with his fellow beastman Grotsnik the Blessed, ran down the sideline, where Frisnogor tossed the pitch back to Grotsnik, who rumbled in for the final score of the game, as time was expiring on the clock, bringing this total score to 3-0 in favor of the minions of Oot. Coach Oot was pleased with his team's performance, even going as far as to say as they weren't awful. He informed the fans that Stumpy Spine Twister will return in good time, as good as new once his body and soul are reforged in the chaos wastes on the anvil of hate. Muttley, who was emerging as an offensive weapon for the young team, promised the fans more violence, and even offered to score a touchdown for little Bobby, a terminal ill goblin with nothing more, who wants nothing more than to be a minion of Oot, but then who can blame him? In other games, House of Slytherin defeated the Orcs with a K 2-0 despite the best efforts of Isaurus' stupidity. After running halfway down the field in the wrong direction, Coach Palladino was finally able to get his lizards moving in the right direction to score a terrific feat of luck. The Orcs of the K are coming together and are sure to get their first win soon. Ride the Snake defeated the Flatulent Pansies 3-1. It was a well-paced frantic combat on the pitch, with blood flying everywhere as the Flatulent Pansies attempted to smash through the line of Ride the Snake. But ultimately, the Dark Elves were too quick and menacing, completing multiple passes and running the ball easily up into the end zone. The Pansies put up a good show, with a well-timed throw and a quick dodge by a blitzer, leading to their single touchdown. But the speed and total disregard for personal safety proved too much for the human team. They were so focused on keeping the flashing dagger of assassins' rage well away from the sensitive human flesh, they let the elves run the ball down the field too often. In their frustration, one of the Pansies did manage to get killed by emerging star snake assassin Bloodbane, in fully justified bout of fair play, but it didn't stop the snakes from toying with them like a cat with a mouse. Fans walked away only slightly disappointed. The Pansies had a few opportunities to turn things around, but lack-witted foresight of the coach failed to press any advantage they had. But luck was with them and kept the Snakes from walking away with a complete shutout. With several players sitting at level 2, the Snakes are proving to be a very worthy adversary for any team in the league. As for the Pansies, well, they're just short of becoming a laughingstock. Maybe next game they'll return with Ogre Raz lucky. Things might turn around for the hapless, clueless humans and their coach. Abner's Orphans lost to the Skull Brigade 2-1 in a well-fought battle of humans. Abner's Orphans came out of the gate quickly and scored, but it was all Skull Brigade from there as they took control in the second half and never looked back. That's Week 2 wrap-up. Have a good one.
So that was episode 233.
Hooray!
Final closing words.
I have none.
happy belated birthday to Keith, and happy birthday coming up to Chris this week.
His birthday was in February or something.
I thought they were both the same month.
I don't know.
I thought Keith was like the 5th, and then Chris was like the 9th or the 12th or something like that.
And happy birthday to my girlfriend, who was March 3rd.
Happy birthday, Wendy.
Interesting. My father's birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Mr. Ivan.
A lot of birthdays.
Bizarre.